Katsina and Nupe, a story of migration, kingdoms, and historical debate. Introduction. History in northern Nigeria is deep, it is layered, and sometimes it is debated. One of the stories that has caused serious discussion over the years is this: did Katsina originate from Nupe? To understand this claim, we must travel back many centuries to a time before colonial rule, before modern state boundaries, and before Nigeria became a country. This is a story of migration, old kingdoms, war, and identity. The Nupe people and their land. The Nupe people live mainly in present-day Niger State, especially around the Niger River and Kaduna River areas. Historically, their homeland is often called KinNupe. In ancient times, KinNupe was powerful, and it covered large parts of what is today Niger State, parts of southern Kaduna areas stretching toward the Middle Belt. The Nupe were known for strong political organization, skilled craftsmen, especially brass and glasswork, farming and river trade, well-structured kingdoms. One of their most famous historical leaders was Etsu Usman Zaki, who later rebuilt Nupe power after the Fulani Jihad period. But long before him, there was an even older kingdom, the ancient kingdom of AtaGara. Nupe historians speak of an ancient kingdom called AtaGara, also known as Ndakolo. According to some traditions, this kingdom existed in northern KinNupe, in what is today northern Niger State. Colonial historians recorded names like Kotonkoro Kotorkoshi Kogo Kuyambana, but Nupe oral history refers to it as AtaGara. Some accounts claim that this ancient kingdom was also called Katsina Laka, meaning Old Katsina. This is where the debate begins. Two Katsinas. According to the Nupe narrative, there were once two places called Katsina, Katsina Laka, Old Katsina, located in KinNupe, a smaller settlement to the north, which later became modern Katsina. The story says that Nupe people from Katsina Laka migrated north and founded a smaller settlement. That smaller settlement eventually grew into what we know today as Katsina City in Katsina State. Leo Africanus and his writings. A key name often mentioned in this discussion is Leo Africanus. Leo Africanus was an Andalusian diplomat and traveller who wrote detailed descriptions of African kingdoms in the early 1500s. In his famous book Descrizione dell'Africa, he described many regions of West Africa. And some interpret his writings as suggesting a large walled town in Nupe territory, a smaller Katsina further north. However, historians debate how accurate his geographical descriptions were, because mapping and naming in the 16th century were often inconsistent. Still, his writings remain important historical sources. The Hausa Katsina Kingdom. Modern Katsina is historically known as one of the Hausa Bakwai, the 7 original Hausa city-states. These include Kano Katsina Zaria Gobir Rano Daura Biram. According to Hausa traditions, Katsina was founded centuries ago and became a center of Islamic scholarship, a strong trading state, a powerful political kingdom. It was closely connected to the Trans-Saharan trade network. The Hausa version of history traces Katsina's origin to Hausa ancestors, not Nupe. This is why the topic remains debated. The 1804 to 1808 Fulani Jihad. In the early 19th century, a major event changed northern Nigeria forever. The Islamic reform movement led by Usman Dan Fodio began in 1804. By 1806, many kingdoms had fallen, including parts of Nupe land. His son, Muhammad Bello, expanded the campaign. Nupe territories were attacked, some old settlements were destroyed, political power shifted. It is true that Nupe experienced major disruption during this period. However, whether this directly caused a migration from Old Katsina to modern Katsina remains debated among scholars. What do historians say? Today, historians approach this issue carefully. There are 3 major perspectives. The Nupe perspective. Some Nupe historians believe Old Katsina, Katsina Laka, was originally Nupe. A modern Katsina began as a Nupe colony. The Hausa perspective. Hausa historians maintain Katsina is one of the ancient Hausa Bakwai. It developed independently as a Hausa state, the academic middle ground. Many modern scholars suggest there were migrations and cultural exchanges. Ethnic identities were more fluid in ancient times. Boundaries were not as fixed as today. In pre-colonial West Africa, people moved often. Trade routes connected Nupe, Hausa, Kanuri, and other groups. It was common for intermarriage shared political systems, mixed settlements. So history may not be a simple one founded the other story. It may be a story of interaction. Great men associated with Katsina has produced some of Nigeria's most respected leaders. Umaru Musa Yar'Adua, President of Nigeria from 2007 to 2010. Muhammadu Buhari, former military head of state and later President of Nigeria. These men brought Katsina's name to national and global recognition. Why this story matters. This discussion is not just about the past. It is about identity, cultural pride, historical recognition. Many African histories were poorly recorded during colonial times. Some were misunderstood, some were simplified. That is why oral traditions and written sources sometimes differ. Conclusion. Did Katsina originate from Nupe? The answer depends on which tradition you follow. What is clear is this. Nupe civilization is ancient and influential. Katsina is an ancient and powerful Hausa kingdom. Northern Nigeria's history is interconnected. Rather than a story of stealing history, it may be a story of migration, cultural exchange, political change, and shared heritage. History is rarely one straight line. It is a river with many branches. And in northern Nigeria, those branches often meet. It was great to have you watch and support our channel as you have always done in the past. Your continuous presence here is deeply appreciated. Please like, comment, and share this documentary with 1 or 2 persons so they too can learn. Also, it will be of great encouragement to us if you subscribe to our channel and hit the notification button for this and other of our documentary. See you in our next episode. Thank you very much. Bye.